one and all, and welcome to another episode of Between Sisters. I am Kaya, your host, one of your hosts, and I am here with my other hosts, my sissies, my Saint-Tropez homies, my road dogs. First then, I got Shauna Dawn, aka author extraordinaire. Next up, you said what?
No, I said thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Next in, we got Keish, aka the spirit guide expert. Next in, we have Bougie Couture herself, Cho Lubby.
Who's Bougie Couture?
Who would be you? It's March, third month of the year, and it is Women's History Month. So what better way to start off this show with four women? I'm not talking about Nina Simone, but I'm talking about women, Black women that are making history. And what woman better to start it off with than Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Yay!
What's what's that what's our story, Sean?
And who is Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Ketanji, will you say, is the SCOTUS nominee.
And who nominated her?
Biden.
Joe Biden.
So did he's so far
president.
He's kept one of his promises.
He kept
One of his promises.
He kept his it's great. I'm sure that she will be confirmed because they only need 51 votes. But of course, they are going to give her hell.
Oh, yeah.
Done with their questions. So, but she's done a Harvard grad. She's been a public defender. So this won't be easy, but I think she can handle it.
I agree.
Well, but MSNBC did an article, and they said that the Supreme Court has made thousands of decisions over hundreds of years that has shaped the lives of millions of people, and astonishingly, at no point in the court's multi-century history has any Black woman had a say in making any of the decisions we had to abide by until now.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time, a Black woman has been nominated to the Supreme Court. Judicial diversity does merely change how a court looks, and it changes how a court acts as well. I think that sums up how I feel in a nutshell.
And let's just be honest, she's more qualified than most of the people already on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
But we know qualifications isn't the key. Yes. I mean, unfortunately, qualifications.
We know.
That part.
Yeah.
If you want to put a side by side with Ketanji and Amy Coney Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the other.
I mean, and it's so unfortunate because we'll still have to be on pins and needles just to get through the confirmation process.
Oh my gosh. I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's yes, this is groundbreaking and this is what we needed to see, but we just have to now sit on pins and needles to go through the confirmation hearings just to make sure that the outcome is she is confirmed. Again, because we know in this game, qualification isn't what matters. You know, we still have to go up against people who don't want to see
A black woman.
Mm-hmm. A black woman.
on the Supreme Court.
Because we've had black men on the Supreme Court paying to.
How many black men did we have on the Supreme Court?
Two.
We had the Honorable Thurgood.
I would
Yes.
actually say,
I mean, said one.
I would only say one.
That's why I started off with the Honorable Thurgood. And then I was going to be
But that's
Clarence.
why I asked the question, because I mean,
The Honorable and Clarence.
But you know what's so crazy? And even in just thinking of Clarence Thomas, how he still made it through confirmation hearing.
Yeah, and it was
Even through having a Me Too situation at that time, and he was still confirmed.
Yeah.
So clearly he had some skeletons on somebody else.
Like
isn't it, because it's so crazy, because I'm like, and we know the role that Biden played during Clarence Thomas's confirmation, and how Anita Hill was treated. Was this Biden repenting for that sin? Because that was a freaking sin. I'm sorry.
It was. I still have a lot of qualms with Biden and a lot of the decisions that he's made since taking office. But one of the things that I've always said about him is that he has the ability to repent, as opposed to his
predecessor.
Yeah.
I didn't. He's able to say, I was wrong. Whether or not he means it, right. But if you're able to admit fault,
yeah,
that's all somebody can do,
The other day I had a conversation with a friend, and her and I tend to have a debate about the growth of the Black culture and how the Black culture has a tendency to use racism as a ceiling not to move forward. So we've gone back and forth about that, and she feels that a lot of Black people, say the man is holding me back, this, that, and the third. My argument to her is that in history, it's always been a white person that has to open doors for us in order for us to progress to the next level. So such as Biden. If Biden did not do what he's doing now, a Black woman probably wouldn't be in that seat for another 100 years. So in our history, it's always been, look at JFK. JFK had to sign a document stating that segregation was to be abolished. So, that's one point right there. Another point, I was watching CNN the other day, and a fair-skinned Black woman was on there, and she made a point, which is actually, a good point, but I don't think I would ever say that on national TV, but she did it. She said, Ketanji, she's not the average Black person that you would see in entertainment. She said, she's dark-skinned. She has dreads. So she said she represents what a lot of Black women look like.
True.
It's so funny. It's so funny that you mentioned that. Even in speaking about New York, remember when de Blasio was nominated?
Yes.
And how they had a ton of complaints about Charlene and her dreads and her skin tone, and they dragged what she wore.
They told Charlene to
because she wasn't that. She didn't fit that. She didn't pass the paper
bag test.
Which is, we've grown so accustomed to living in this world where fair-skinned Black people were always treated better than darker-skinned Black people. And I think we've even made it a thing within ourselves.
We sure have.
The fact to hear that someone is still saying that the white man is holding me down, I don't know if I really hear many people saying that today.
I do.
I don't hear it. I honestly don't hear it the way I did 20 years ago. I don't.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it every
I
time I
think
watch
it's-
The Equalizer too.
I, I,
I'm talking about in real life with real people.
With
I
Denzel.
think it's
know.
more so now the systems that have been put in
I don't
place.
I don't really hear people saying, you know, it's the white man fault, it's the white, I
It's
don't,
the systems.
because I can honestly, and I don't know if it's maybe the circles that we're in,
Mhm.
Mhm.
I don't know, because the circles that we're in, I don't hear any of us saying that.
Yeah, the white man
I
trying to
don't
keep
hear
me.
any of
I mean,
any,
I
I don't
did.
hear anyone in our circle, because most of us are.
Well, our circle is not like every circle of Black people in
I
America.
did feel a level of pushback when it came to the home purchasing process. And I thought that there was a level of some type of underlying.
But that's the
Yeah, but you know what? I
that
think we
were
spoke
put in
about that situation with your home purchasing situation, and I think that played a big. I think that situation, it kind of might have gone into that direction, but I don't think ultimately that's how it started. I think it was the person that you use.
Yeah, that
was
part
more
too.
So that he was the main issue that may have made things circumvent into it coming off like it was that. I think he was the main problem.
He was the problem. And I
He
think
was the
I
problem,
think that
right.
if my husband didn't know what he knew, we wouldn't have gotten the house. You know,
And it was unfortunate because when we take the mindset of we want to support our own and give our own the business, and that was where I was with, and that was the experience you had. Funny thing, I know I went to a big bank, but my broker was Hispanic, and we were dead set on using someone of color in that position to work with us. And we had a smooth transaction with a big bank.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But I do think that we have made a ton of accomplishments.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We fare in a better light economically.
Definitely.
We're not where we should be, but we're not nowhere near where our parents were.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, think about it. Just think about it. We're all homeowners. We're all homeowners. Not all of our parents could have said that when they were children.
True.
Many of us didn't grow up in homes. And I think that the majority of us, and again, the majority of our circle, we're all in the same playing field. Think about it.
I mean, Ketanji is sort of a unicorn because of the fact that she does wear natural locks.
I love that.
She wears, I mean, she has a very ethnic name. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Sue-Ann, you know, or you know, she has, you know, she fits the box of Black. She's not a You know what I mean? We ain't got to wonder where her parents is from.
You know, it's crazy, but like when you start off by even saying Nina Simone, can you imagine if Nina Simone was alive today to see this happening?
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things I wanted to mention too,
hair.
Going into other cultures' homes is really interesting. The things that are being said, and they definitely don't say it in a racial manner, but I've been hearing, like, you know, people are getting tired of people being picked because of certain things when they should be picked for their qualifications and not picked for their color.
Harvard.
I have I can't say that at my job I get fired to my, if I'm saying that in people's homes, that's what I'm about to say. The reason why Biden has to do what he's doing is it because in 2020, 21, 22, we still have people getting their necks leaned on for over 8 minutes. We have young men, black males getting killed because they're wearing a hoodie. We have all of these things that are still happening to this day. So this day and age, we still need people like Biden to open doors for us. So that's why these things are happening, because if it was up to just qualifications, we still wouldn't be equal. We can have the highest of the highest, and still they will not pick us because of skin color. So we need people like Biden, who is sent by God, to open these doors.
Well, one thing that she said during her when Biden did nominate her, she did say something, and it resonated with me because I had one myself in high school, and one of my best friends, she makes sure she tells the story at every family function, every party, every bar mitzvah, every place we go, she got to tell a story. But Ketanji, the Honorable, Judge Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Said that her guidance counselor in high school basically told her, you need to shoot a little lower with your expectations and your sights. Don't shoot for Harvard, like maybe shoot for like a CUNY or a SUNY. I don't know what she told her to shoot for, but Harvard, no, that's too high.
I know that guidance counselor, if they're still alive, they are kicking themselves.
But see, these are the people, it just goes into a greater conversation about the school system and those that are teachers, that are, principals, that are guidance counselors, that are social workers, that are with these children. And you have these children that have such great aspirations, and you're going to say, oh, Harvard, that for you, Ketanji. Maybe what about community college?
But just think about what this does now, that these kids have seen a Black president. They've seen a Black vice president. They've seen a Black soon-to-be Supreme Court first Black woman. So I think now they don't have to listen
to the guidance counselor that tells them to shoot low.
Because now it's like, no, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. I can go to, even if I do have to go to community college.
I know I do.
I can go to Harvard.
Be what I want to be. Exactly.
That's right. It's so funny, because people don't realize sometimes the impact that a teacher really does have on a child's mind. Mm-hmm. And there's two things a teacher can do to you. They can shoot you down or build you up.
Yep.
And it always turns out that a lot of those teachers that did shoot children down, those children are always the ones that always excel.
Of course.
That's like,
and you know why? Because that teacher gave them the drive to excel. So the teacher still did do something for them.
Yep. That's like the magician David Blaine. He went to the same high school I went to. And so I had the same science teacher that he had. And the science teacher told him, you'll never amount to be anything.
David Blaine is like the biggest.
Why? Like, that stuff like that.
But look at that. Guidance counselor told her that she shouldn't go to Harvard. And now she's been nominated Supreme Court Justice.
A lifelong appointment.
Where that teacher had to retire.
Right. I hope she dropped the name too. It was Mrs. Smith.
Look, wink, wink. So, just a sidebar, because y'all know how we are. And I have to say that regardless of where we go, we run things. Now, I'm not saying that she gonna go and bogart her way into that into those chambers. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is Brett don't stand a chance. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, because we already got Justice Sotomayor.
Yes.
Yes.
Justice Sotomayor don't play.
You know,
She has been making a few mistakes lately about the stuff that she's been saying. It's been inaccurate. Like she's been, but we gotta bring her back onto the, right track.
It's COVID. It's COVID.
Yeah, she got COVID brain. Yeah, it's COVID brain. Yeah, COVID brain. But before we go to the next topic, viewers, let us know how you feel about Miss Honorable Ketanji Jackson and her nomination to the Supreme Court. We'd love to know how you feel about our sister from another mister playing Twister.
Really?
Really?
So let's talk about the exec, the Estée Lauder exec, that recently lost his job for an inappropriate post on his personal Instagram page.
So his personal Instagram wasn't so personal, huh?
But it's social media. It's social media. It's a footprint. They gonna find out. Somebody gonna find out.
And this is what sometimes I wonder, are people really paying attention? You have a social media, someone is bound to see your post. You put a post, number one, making fun of COVID.
Yeah.
It's Big Bird speaking to Mr. Snuffleupagus, stating that he got the Rona.
He used the N-word in the post.
A nigga got Rona from going to a Chingy concert. I'm trying to understand the mindset. When you saw it and you went into a belly laugh, why did you think I can repost this? Everybody see the humor in it and not even think of sensitivity. Knowing that you work for a company, a big company.
So wait, let's minus the fact that he used nigger and Rona.
You just recently posted with the rapper Saweetie, because now you have a contract with this girl and you're posting about a joke, the Rona in Chingy. That Chingy has
When's the last time Chingy had a hit?
I forgot about Chingy. Like, I ain't talking about him in like 2 years at least.
Last time I heard about Chingy is when he's trying to denounce Tiffany Haddish. Yeah. Apparently she said she had an episode with Chingy and Chingy was denying it. And I'm like, Chingy, you should be glad that she actually made that relevant.
Like she's making you relevant.
Like she made you relevant for 3.8 seconds. Like, get out of here, Chingy. Don't nobody think about you.
One time I was minding my own business and YouTube had popped up his video. I was like, oh shit. And I was doing
I guess me right dirty.
But
right there. Right there.
That's a millionaire.
Yes.
See, that just tells you. I don't even know the man's songs.
But listen, guys, seriously. But in an era where DEI is it's like most organizations are pushing DEI. And I know his organization is pushing why on earth would you think that was something that can be posted and there would be no backlash?
Exactly.
None whatsoever.
I think the bigger issue for me here is the need for others to use that word. Like there is such a desire and a yearning to use that word because they feel like they're left out. Nigga, y'all use that word for years, for hundreds of years, to objectify and degrade us.
But that's
And
their
we
word.
literally-
I'm
Don't
gonna
you
play the
get it?
devil's
Because it's
advocate.
their word. It's their
I'm gonna
word.
play the devil's advocate. What's this
the
person's
ER
name
is
again?
their word.
What's this person's name again?
What is it? Demsey?
Mm-hmm.
Demsey was tired of his job. Cause this day and age, you can't tell me that you didn't know you was gonna get fired from. That was like a direct. He wanted to get fired from his job, so he was like, "What's the best way to get fired from my?" Because I'm like, even me as a registered nurse for a small, not even a small company, for my company, I know as a registered nurse for the company I work for, I would not even dare put that same post because they would fire me and I'm a black woman. So I'm looking at it from like the whole, I'm like, nah, you wanted to get fired and you needed a good way to get fired. Sidebar, I remember one time I was watching a little pilot show that Wanda Sykes had. It only lasted for a few weeks. So the joke was she was on the flight with her boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever she was on the flight with. She wanted to get off the flight. So she stood up in the middle aisle. She was like, yeah, this flight is the bomb. And when she did that, some secret agent just jumped on her. Out of nowhere, because she knew there was a secret agent somewhere on the thing.
No, you know that's that
Jumped on
person
her.
that's on every flight. The
Yeah. She said the bomb, and
The marshal.
They took her to the nearest airport and dropped her ass off. So I'm saying you can't tell me in 2022 Demsey did not know that is it he or she? Which
Listen, if he wanted to be packaged out, then he could have had a conversation.
Right. And
Or saying he was ready to
Something ain't
retire
right.
and
That's
just
a little
package him
fishy.
out.
right.
I mean, because, you know, the crazy thing in this, though, because he's had such a long career, I don't think he will be blackballed from the industry.
He's not. In a particular situation like this, he's going to now have fans that are going to now offer him all types of stuff. Like the dude with what's the dude that was crying in court that now wants to sue LeBron James?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
He's
The
that
little boy.
insignificant. Yeah, he's that insignificant. I don't even want to mention. So, like him, he did such a heinous thing, but now he's hailed as a hero.
A hero
To the dum-dums.
But
Yep.
I
Well, look,
think,
Rick Schroeder was one of his biggest fans.
oh yeah.
I will never, ever, if any television network shows an episode of Silver Spoon,
I'm not watching.
I will turn the channel. Any movie that I see on Lifetime, if I see his name pop up, I will turn the channel. Rick Schroeder will never ever get a view from me ever again because I know the real you.
Yes, I think he will bounce back, but I think it's gonna be some time because I think that a lot of the big companies wouldn't want to put his name saying our new exec is this person. I think that if it's done, it's gonna be real quiet and like nobody gonna know.
Just coming through the back door. Don't tell nobody
You know
you're
what
here. You
happened?
go in your
Yeah.
office.
It's sad because, you know, he will recover. And the thing about that too is a lot of times, and we said it earlier, when people have relationships, they think certain things that they do within their circle is cool. And clearly it has been acceptable behavior amongst his peers
Yeah,
that look like us.
But you can't put that on social media in 2022 and not expect somebody's gonna repost
that's
it.
the suspect part. Like come on, like you've been on a rock for the last 5 years. Well, the culture sensitivity of this country right now, after Black Lives Matter movement, like everybody knows, like we're at the point where we're just everything is sensitive. Whether you're talking about a white person, a black person, a gay person. Everybody knows you got to be very cautious on what you say. So this executive of this company, Estée Lauder, you mean to tell me you didn't have common sense to know that right there was a no-no?
And Estée Lauder is behind a whole bunch of brands.
Yes.
So that's a little.
Estée Lauder is behind a bunch of brands.
Crazy.
So the fact that you and your nigga
Your nigga
Snuffy,
Snuffleupagus.
your nigga no Snuffy, your nigga
Oh,
Snuffy
Yeah,
done got Rona
Snuffy.
at the
At the
Chingy
Chingy
concert,
concert.
right?
Yeah.
Right
You
there.
know, the fact that it was in such poor taste. The fact that we're in year 3 of COVID.
Yeah, like, dude, who's still
And
doing Rona jokes?
COVID.
We've lost
I still know
almost
of the
1 million
Chingy
people
part. That's the
from
part.
COVID. Like we've lost almost a
It was
million
just-
people.
yeah,
It's like,
it was-
stop.
Yeah, that was it's such in poor taste, and on so many levels, it's bad. But at least we did get to see that the company did, his employment has been terminated. But but what I really want to know is how much did he leave the organization with?
Oh,
That's what I want to know.
He got a nice,
Girl,
nice
That's
everything.
what I'm saying, y'all. This nigga knew what he was doing. You can't tell me this nigga did not know. He was like, wait,
Well,
he probably went to work with it. So if I ever get fired, how much would I get? I'm going to Sandro Pay. I'll be right back.
well,
Right,
Mr.
Sandro
Dempsey,
Pay, right now.
he better know that he got to leave when we get
He
there.
got one glass and clicking it with somebody. See, that shit really worked. It did. I told that shit was gonna work. And I used Chingy. Oh my God.
Well, to mark the beginning of Women's History Month, Mr. Dempsey, you get the Go Sit Your Ass Down Somewhere award.
Sit your $5 ass down.
For today. And the second recipient of the Go Sit Your Ass Down Somewhere award, Putin, Zelenskyy, and the racists over there in the Ukraine.
It's so amazing that even in time of war, that you
Racist
still
is
got
going to
time
race.
be racist.
Racists going to race in the time of war. How is it that you just like?
Well, Kaya, you gotta, because some people didn't know about what happened, so you gotta explain to the audience, because some people may not have seen that by this point, because CNN and Fox and them is not showing that. They won't show
Okay.
that part.
Well, as of today, mainstream media has picked up the stories about what's going on.
I did see on the morning show, Channel 4's morning show yesterday. I did see, and they didn't really go in too deep, but they did make mention of the Africans who were complaining that they're not allowed to leave and they're getting pushed further back.
Those of you that have not had any news on at all, and you have literally been in a remote village with no internet access, Russia has decided that they were going to invade Ukraine. Putin has got on the mic. He was just like, this is what's going to happen. Let me tell you something. Come for me if you want to. It's not going to end well for you.
Mm-hmm.
He threatened all the world leaders. He was just like, if you want to come, like this. like Lawrence Fishburne in Matrix when he told Neo, and when they was fighting, he was like, let me tell you something. My man Putin had all the balls, okay? And he was just like, this is what we're gonna do. He lied at first and said, we not trying to invade. He said, we're not trying to invade Ukraine. Mm-mm. Meanwhile, the armies were just inching.
They were lining up around the borders. But wait, did y'all peep how the Zelenskyy, President Zelenskyy, he was in denial. Like Biden was like, you see what they're doing? He's like, they're not gonna do anything. Because he didn't think that they were itching around their borders to attack him.
Him, first of all, his wife and his kids is in hiding because their lives are in danger as well.
Of course.
They blew up the airport.
Yes.
International airport. I mean, there's people that have, I think the four of us as a whole, when we first started hearing the news, that we were all like, God, please, you know, like this can't happen, because it's ramifications across the globe.
Yes.
And I don't think that people really understand that it's something we should care about.
Because they're just like, oh, that's white
It's
people
over
problem. That's white people
there,
problem.
right?
It's all the way
That's
over there.
them. But I don't think they know that Russia plays a huge part in the energy. So it's
gas
just
and oil.
like
Gas and oil.
exactly.
Gas
And
is
for those of
already
y'all who drive,
$18 a gallon.
Yes. I
For those
went
of y'all
to
who
the
drive.
gas station yesterday and today. I'm like, what? I'm back?
Exactly.
Listen,
Look,
my husband trying to
I went
figure
to the
out.
gas station yesterday,
Ooh, girl, what's your job?
and I was like, I mean, you know, I got a truck, so I was like, I got the one.
That was a cable bill.
Wait,
That was a
wait a
cable
minute.
bill, right?
Wait, you really starting to consider sitting by the airport with your car and really become an Uber driver now, right?
Look, I was like, G.O. Hughley. I was like, what you driving, a lawnmower? I was like, you sit on pump one. But so yeah, so we were all in shock at Putin's brazen attack. Putin is next level gangster.
Yeah.
Crips, Bloods, Decepticons, you know, all of the gangs that we knew of in America ain't got nothing on Putin.
They
You
don't.
know, it's so
They don't.
crazy. It's so crazy. It's like he sits there like, I want the Ukraine. Yes, I want Ukraine. Kiev, I want Kiev. It's not Kiev. It's Kiev? No, it's Kiev. I want them. That's what I want. It's
As he
like,
sits at this
dude,
long table.
what is it for you?
Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, when you're shooting from the air. So now you just don't you just don't care at this point. So what's going to be your final outcome? To do what? Because what will you gain? If you do set nuclear missiles, what will you gain? What is there to gain at that point? Because that's what everyone's worry is now, nuclear.
Right.
What will you gain at that point? Because if you want something and you destroy it, but then it's the whole thing, if I can't have it, you can't either.
And when your economy is not the strongest, your best next option is war. War is money.
War is big.
We know.
Business.
So on top of Putin and Zelenskyy and everything that was going on, I was saying that, you know, all four of us, we were definitely, our hearts and our prayers were, you know, with the Ukrainians, you know, to flee from persecution. And then some eyewitness video popped up on my news feed, care of my sissy Keish. Yeah. And it's videos of Africans and Jamaicans literally being pushed off of buses, trains, being pushed back at the border by gunpoint from Ukrainians.
Not just the police, the actual citizens of Ukraine.
Citizens. And
they are there for school.
They're students. They're students.
Become doctors.
They're medical students.
They're medical students. And it's just like you may need this person. So I would make sure I stick with them and make sure that they get on.
So one of the African medical students, she said to CNN that they were ordered off of public transit at the checkpoint between Ukraine and the Poland border. Now, Young Thug, the rapper, has offered to help the African and Caribbean students and their families that have been stranded. And I thought that was huge. He called on some of his hip hop brethren to help. I don't know where they are with that, but this brings me all the way back to how many hundreds of years ago? Y'all ain't sending out no search party? We went missing? Send out no search party? Now y'all
you sound like Paul Mooney right now.
Now y'all got TV so y'all can see what's happening to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are literally on this globe dolo.
Yes, we are.
We're hated around the world. We're hated. The world hates us.
Let me give y'all a
World
quick
hates
reminder. In 2020, do y'all remember initially with the coronavirus, how there were memes where it was saying that people were saying, like, having these videos put out that Black people were not catching coronavirus. Do y'all remember that initially? And people be jamming. And then when the report came out, the statistics of Black people and Hispanic people had the highest rate of coronavirus. That changed the whole flavor, the whole dynamic of everything. So a lady I follow on social media, she has dual citizenship, and by this point she came back to America, and she was living in China. So she showed everybody the email. It was an email that was sent to every Black person that lived in China, and they were saying specifically all colored people got to get out their apartments within 24 hours. They got kicked out of their apartments because of this thing that came out. So then all these Black people, literally, a lot of them Africans, got kicked out of their apartments, and now they were sleeping on the streets. And then what happened after that? Then the police will come and tell them, you can't sleep on the street. So now you kicked me out of hotels and apartments and the houses or whatever they were living, kicked them out in the street, and then did not allow them to lay in the streets. Like you said, we're dolo here.
I know that Nigeria, I know Kenyan authorities had said that they were working with the Ukrainian government to get some people out, and I think Nigeria, and I was told that South Africa was also working to get their people out as well. But at this point, it's just like, yo. Now I know that Europe and I know United States finally put sanctions out with these oligarchs, because you got these oligarchs over here living in the lap of luxury, popping bottles. But yet, you were Russia. You were enemy of the state, but you over here chilling. Finally, they put the oligarchs out. That's what they said.
And I just saw that Apple done pulled out of
doing business.
Yeah, I think Ford too. Ford has some plants out there.
Yeah, it's funny how they're saying that they were pulling Russian vodkas off the racks. I'm like, not all Russian vodkas are made in Russia anymore. But at this point, because it's a Russian vodka,
it's the vodka Russian? Is the vodka Russian?
You got that in your house?
It is. I got to take that off the shelf. Let me drink it real quick.
I'll get rid of it tonight.
But yeah, a lot of companies are now saying that they will not do business.
Right.
So if Russia already had economy issues prior, but now you're doing this and companies are leaving, so now you're really going to be desperate. Then what?
Well,
desperate men do desperate things.
That's the scary part, because that's what I'm saying. If I can't have it, you can't either.
And prior to me calling you up about that whole thing with the Africans and the Jamaicans, right before that, I was really praying hard, and I still am. Don't get it twisted. I still am praying for that country. But I really, like, tears came in my eyes because when I saw these women in the train, you know, on the buses, and they had their small kids, and I said to myself, like, I feel really bad because we're actually sitting here watching. We're watching you get your asses beat. And all we can do is say, do you need a napkin? You need some water? There's nothing that we can basically do physically in fighting to help them, because indirectly we're afraid too. Because all the power that man has. And
clearly
now
it
it's like,
come.
as a Black person, I'm damn sure ain't gonna be dying for you over there because you want to push off the buses and trains. But I wasn't thinking like that. I wasn't thinking like that before I saw those videos. I was really like, oh my God, I wish this, because you know what?
Watching the videos before finding out what was happening over the weekend was, oh my gosh, these babies in the cold.
Yes,
That was the thing.
Right.
I wasn't even worried about the mothers. I was more so worried about the babies in the cold.
But you know, we don't like the cold. We don't.
And you know, you see the snow, you see the snow falling, and it's like, oh my gosh, like they're like, yeah, your body's used to living in a cold climate, but to be outdoors in the cold, trying to show, you know, I saw this one woman with her son, and you know, they were just trying to figure out where they're gonna hide, and you know, where can they find shelter just before they can try to get over to Poland. And I'm like, damn, and then it's like, oh great.
Mm-hmm.
You kicking niggas out. What the hell?
No, they're not kicking them out. That's just
they keep them in. They're keeping
them in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you know, my question too was, does Poland have anything to do with that? Did Poland say don't be sending no niggas over here?
I did hear that they were not, that the people at the border were saying no, but the president.
No, Prime Minister.
Poland, yeah.
The Prime Minister.
That they were saying that they've stepped in and now will open arms
for the
everyone,
to everybody.
Yeah, I think, you know, the thing is, it just showed that before you can get to Poland, we must make sure all Ukrainians get to Poland
first.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That was the mindset.
Yes.
And I wonder if was it really racially motivated, or was it just the plain?
You can't tell me that it wasn't.
So is your thing useless because the men weren't going, the men were staying to defend home.
Yes.
So it was their mindset, well, we must make sure all the women and children, all Ukrainian women and children get out of here before you get out of here. You can't go before the women and children.
Well, you saw the Black lady at the border with the 2-month-old baby in the freezing cold.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, no, you can't come over.
Right.
Because it was the woman.
With the baby. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's 2022 and we still hearing stories like this. And it's like, damn.
What is with the love of Putin all of a sudden by the conservatives?
Because of Trump.
Like, no, but I'm just saying, isn't that treason to like go against your country?
It's a very bad scene, and it's clearly in all of the news cycles. But I just want us to remember our Palestinian brothers and sisters.
Isn't this just amazing how it just
shifted?
And this is what happens. You know, it's always something that erases what was just current in the news cycle. We still have to remember what's happening to our Palestinian brothers and sisters. You know, so now
I'm not trying to take away from what's going on in Ukraine, but
it isn't good.
We have the one-track mind. It's like we can't take
Do
on
two things at one
like
time.
3 things at the same time.
Yeah.
Things get heated on the next episode of Between Sisters.
Just okay. Even when he went to go, when he went into the studio with Pharrell, and he started performing for Pharrell.
Pharrell
What
had
did
to walk
Pharrell
out.
say?
He was like,
Pharrell
yo,
was like, yo, I didn't know. Yo, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I just thought you was a producer. I didn't know. Because everybody knew Kanye as a dope ass producer. Just think about it.
But think about
I'll
this,
fight you,
Keish.
Kaya.
Think about this, Keish. So Kanye was in the studio with Pharrell for like let's say 20 minutes to an hour. Let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Pharrell had to walk out and like, yo, this is dope.
So to
Is if one person I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry,
no.
I'm saying if he was around Pharrell for like an hour or two, and Pharrell got it in that short space of time. Kanye was around these niggas for months, playing music, doing runs at the top of his head.
They didn't want
biscuits.
Keisha.
They
How
wanted
many
hits
times,
for other
Keisha?
people.
Fab Maven, the official brand of the Melanin movement, a bold and unapologetic brand for the culture that uplifts and empowers, a brand that says, we've got something to say. Go to fabmaven.com and get your online shop on.